Welp, I'm basically selling out with this video. The Amazing Digital Circus. What is there to introduce at this point? If you're watching this video, you already know all about this immensely popular series that has overtaken the Cartoon Corner online discussion. You know what? This web series has done much more than what I said previously, as it has reached mainstream status, with a pop-up store appearing in Japan just half a year after the pilot's release. I was originally going to make a video criticizing the pilot for Digital Circus back in October 2023, but I lost all my editing progress after my Linux install self-destructed for some reason. You get used to it eventually. At that point, I gave up and ceased production on the video, which might have been a blessing in disguise, seeing the response to my Ina video from 3 years ago. Damn! And yes, that damn was both for the time since release and the reception to that video. Once the second episode of Digital Circus released, I slowly started to see the series in a positive light, as that episode was written in a way that justified the series' existence outside of content farms to offer off of children.
The shot goes in your butt.
The series further improved with the third episode, which was horror related.
I'm an absolute sucker for dark or horror related videos.
Don't remind me. Even at this early point in the series, Digital Circus always had the momentum always seen in well-established TV franchises. This was showcased with the announcement of the series appearing on Netflix on October 4th, 2024. The Netflix announcement was made months after Glitch Productions stated that they don't see the series reaching any streaming services due to wanting creator control over their property. However, the Netflix deal will allow for Glitch to have full creator control over the series while also releasing new episodes on YouTube first, meaning the series is still under independent control. If a web series were to ever launch on the streaming service, this is a deal any creator would want. Everyone benefited from this deal, as Glitch didn't fear censorship or creator control issues, and Netflix now has one of the most popular shows on the streaming service. How could this deal fall apart? Wow.
Well, Mr. President, it looks like there are some new developments.
On May 18th, 2025, Glitch Productions made a deal that would change their business prospects forever. On that day, Amazon announced a multi-title licensing deal with Glitch Productions for the concluded web series, Murder Drones. This means that Murder Drones and future Glitch series will be released on Amazon Prime, making Amazon the home of Glitch Productions outside of YouTube. This raises a ton of questions for the future of the existing deal with Netflix for Digital Circus, as streaming services typically don't appreciate a company making separate deals with different streaming services. Netflix probably looked at the multi-title deal with seething anger, as Glitch basically betrayed their trust by allying with one of their biggest competitors. While Amazon Prime isn't seen as much as a viable streaming service due to average consumer, Netflix definitely cares if a studio/corporation makes a deal with them, as a lot of people who have access to the service might use it just to consume that specific piece of media. Glitch's deal with Amazon more than definitely shattered relations with Netflix, as now the shows are separated between two competing streaming services. This deal probably caused either Glitch or Netflix to back out of the Digital Circus deal, explaining why we haven't seen any new Digital Circus episodes on Netflix since episode 4. This episode 5 came out prior to the main Amazon deal. It will probably be on the service as expected. Now, not so much, as the future of Digital Circus on Netflix is in complete jeopardy. The series will probably not stay that long on Netflix anyway, as once the license expires, don't expect to see this series on Netflix ever again. That shit is immediately switching to Amazon Prime, either by the time the series is over or a few months prior to that point. It's safe to say that episode 5 and so on will not see the big end anytime soon. Once the licensing deal with Netflix dries up, I can bet, not really, that Digital Circus will be streaming on Prime, despite the fact that Glitch's tweet mentioned future shows instead of current shows. Although Digital Circus is ongoing, I believe that's for consistency's sake. They will put the series on Amazon Prime alongside their other productions. The funny thing about all of this is that Murder Drones was supposed to release on Netflix quite some time ago, but was scrapped due to Netflix wanting to change the title of the series to Murder Drones because they saw having murder on the title was too violent for some fucking reason.
About a year where I was doing a bunch of pitch meetings with like a bunch of streaming services, Netflix, Amazon, Hulu. There was a meeting, and this will capture my entire experience in one example. The guy was like, Murder Drones, it's a bit too much of a violent name. Can you change it to like Meta Drones? I heard the word meta is pretty big right now. What?
This is hilarious, considering the fact there are several titles on Netflix with murder on the title, such as Murder Mindfully, Making a Murderer, and the Thursday Murder Club, which showcases Netflix's blatant hypocrisy. The only reason I would see them wanting to change the title is due to the fact that it's animated, even though it is clearly an adult cartoon. I mean, it could be due to the rise of corporations using the word meta for everything nowadays, but that's just my speculation. There's not much to evaluate here, so it's best we move on. I mean, really, Glitch turned down the deal and later allowed for Digital Circus to stream on Netflix. What else is there to discuss here? Tell me, nigga, tell me! The Amazing Digital Circus is too big to fail, regardless if the series is hosted on Netflix or any streaming service at all. This independent series single-handedly took over the internet with just its pilot episode. Other than Kosher Hotel, there's no other YouTube pilot that has received so much attention at release, and that is a commendable fact. Although it's sad that Digital Circus will not get even more attention from people not glued to communities online after the show leaves Netflix and moves to a smaller streaming service such as Amazon Prime. I doubt that will hurt this series that much anymore. At this point, if you haven't decided to watch the show, it's either because you don't care about it or you're waiting for the series to end after episode 9, which I have problems with, by the way. The Amazing Digital Circus has garnered a dedicated audience, ready to consume whatever gory slop some cartoon series YouTuber uploads. I'm not complaining, and that gives attention to my video as well. As the series slowly comes to a close, we will see even more attention towards it, as people will ponder on how the story concludes. While Netflix not having these episodes will be a huge blow to the massive streamer, not much will be lost on Glitch's side. The fans who came from Netflix will eventually find episodes on YouTube and watch them, abandoning Netflix entirely, at least in regards to this series in particular. I honestly wonder when they will publicly announce the series leaving Netflix, as it's pretty obvious that Digital Circus will leave for Amazon eventually. Amazon Prime and Glitch have made a deal of a lifetime, and there's simply no looking back for the creators of SNC4. They made their deal and they're content to it with it, and that's fine by me. Man, this show wasn't as bad as I thought. Why did I hit this show in the first place? Oh. And as expected, why is it literally every single time with these people?
Americanism, not globalism, will be our credo.
We're going to take back our country, and we're going to make Israel great again.